Hey, how's it going, friends? This is Rod from webhostwarriors.com, and in today's video, we're going to review A2 Hosting's web hosting services. Now, before we start off with the review, let's go over some of the facts and history about A2 Hosting before we start reviewing the company. Now, A2 Hosting started way back in 2003, and since then, they've had a pretty long history. So they've been around for 14 plus years. And the fact that they've been around for that long, considering how competitive the web hosting industry is a testament on how good their products and services are. So the fact that they've been around for this long and are still running the company, it's very impressive, the fact that they've been able to do that for such a long period of time. So with that in mind, let's go over the actual plans of the web hosting services. So if you go over to the web hosting services at their homepage, as we can see, they offer everything from shared hosting to reseller hosting to VPS hosting and dedicated hosting. So they start from $3.92 a month to $13.19 to $5 a month to $99.59 per month. Now, most of us, we pretty much go over the shared hosting category. So if we go over that really quick, as you could see, if you look at the Windows plans, with actually another thing that separates A2 Hosting with other web hosting companies is that they do operate or offer services for the Linux operating system. So it does give them that competitive edge by providing Windows and Linux plans. But for the vast majority of people, they pretty much use Windows. So if we go over here, they have three different plans. They have the Lite, Swift, and the Turbo plan. So with the Lite plan, they start off at $4.90 per month, and normally it's $9.99 per month with their Lite. With Swift, it's $5.88 per month, and normally it start off at $11.99. And then their Turbo is $10.78, and it's normally at $21.99. Now the differences between these packages is between the Lite and Swift packages, you're differentiating one website versus unlimited websites that you could put on there. You could have up to 5 databases, which means you could have up to 5 separate installs. So if you're using WordPress, you could utilize 5 different installs or 5 separate databases with that plan. And then with the Swift plan, you get unlimited data space or databases. In terms of storage, it's pretty much unmetered. Transfers are unmetered. And another cool thing about this is with both plans, you do get a free SSL and SSD or free SSL certificate as well. And what pretty much makes these two plans different from the Turbo plan is you do get faster web hosting speed. You do get the A2 Site Accelerator, and as you can see here, I mean, they're pretty upfront and forward. They have an anytime money back guarantee if you're unsatisfied with their services when you start out. So if you want to check this out, go ahead and click the links below or click on the links around the video with the YouTube cards. So those are pretty much the shared web hosting plans. And if we look at some of the reviews, I mean, they're a fairly highly reviewed company. As you can see here, they have real customers that have put in their input with the company. So you can also look at that by clicking the links below. And of course, there's the plans again. But what separates A2 Hosting with other web hosting platforms out there is their actual support. So you can pretty much contact their support anytime. They have a 24/7, 365 support. You can go ahead and call their toll-free number here, 1-888-546-8946. And the website over here, it's pretty sleek. It's fairly clean in terms of the helpful resources that you could use. So if you have troubles with billing, your domain name servers, your SSL certificates, your control panel, or just looking at the A2 portal or your customer portal, or using the control panel with Plesk, they could pretty much answer most of your questions. So that's very good in assuring that when you get involved with a company, they have a service like this, because you don't want to get a web hosting company that takes weeks to answer your questions. So overall, A2 Hosting, has a fairly good support team, and it's fairly impressive, which again is probably why they've been around for 14 plus years. Now, besides that, we're going over the plans, their support, and the reviews. Let's go over the nitty-gritty, and let's look at their actual speed. So by looking at the speed test log, I went over to testmy.net and looked over host stats for A2 Hosting, And if we go to the test log here, actual customers were able to put in their input on how fast their web hosting speeds are. So depending on the plan, it can go up to 2.21 megabytes per second to 12 to 1. But if we look at the actual averages over here, we can see that the average download speed for A2 hosting is 8.4 megabytes per second, and the current download speed index for it is 28. If we look at the upload speed test for it, it's 6.8 megabytes per second, and normally the average for the industry for that is roughly 8 or 9 seconds. So in terms of the web hosting, if you look at the shared web hosting, it's still fairly quick. The pricing's not the cheapest. There's other alternatives to it, but overall, it's a very good company. They have a solid support, solid web hosting, and they have been in the game for a very long time. So other than that, that's pretty much the bulk of this review. Other than that, there's also web builders integrations that you could use as well. You could use WordPress integration, Magento e-commerce, OpenCart e-commerce, Joomla for making courses and learning websites, and Drupal as well. So other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. That pretty much concludes my review with A2 Hosting. A2 Hosting's not the best web hosting company out there. There's other alternatives. You can go ahead and check out our website here at webhostwarriors.com to look at other alternatives. But other than that, if you're looking into going with A2 Hosting, then I would recommend that you do that, because they're a fairly solid company. They've been around for a long time, and they provide a very decent product and service for the marketplace. So with that in mind, guys, I hope you appreciate this short and concise review, and I will see you guys in the next videos. Thanks.